G'day guys, Will from GameFace here. A bit of a change of pace this evening. I'm down at the Southern Footy and Netball League Umpires. They had their training here tonight. I'm joined by the newly appointed boss of the Umpires, Auditore. Jono, you haven't been in the role long and you've hit the ground running. What's been happening, mate?
We've started since February. It's been wonderful to see so many new umpires taking on the challenge. The big success that we've had this year so far is that our numbers are the biggest they've ever been. We've in fact got 70 field umpires, almost 110 boundary umpires, and our goal umpires are probably the largest number that we've seen in quite a number of years.
Off the field as well, there's been a few changes. A move from Bricker to Morley Reserve here in Bentley East. Tell us about that.
So the big plan this year is that what I wanted to do most importantly was build relationships with clubs, and one of the things that I thought we could do in regards to that was change our training night to a Wednesday night. So therefore most clubs train on a Tuesday and a Thursday, so that means we as umpires can be a little bit more accessible to clubs rather than us being in the same nights for that.
There's been a couple of rule changes that the AFL have implemented. And of course the Southern Footy and Netball League will look to adopt a few of those for season 2019, and for all the clubs watching this, they're probably going to be pretty interested. What's happening, mate? What are the changes?
The rules that the AFL have brought in are really going to benefit the SNFL because it's going to open up our games of footy. It's going to, I'm hoping, and the way we umpire them will actually make our game more open and a bit more fast-paced. That's going to improve the skill level, and that's not just from First Division, that's all the way down to our women's football as well. Yep. The 666 rule is going to be really interesting, but I think how we've looked at it now is that 6 players down one end of the ground, 6 down the other. Boundary umpires will police that particular area so we can stop those encroachment parts. But as I said, it'll take a couple of weeks before before players really get used to actually having to stay in a particular position for that one there. The kickout, which means that there's no more goal square element to it, is brilliant. Yep. And from the practice matches that we've done, I'm hopeful that those big kicks that actually kick up the ground are going to make our game a little bit more open just in what we can get out of it. And so you've got to start in it, and 2 feet need to be in it for the start of it. And then once the goal umpire's signalled, all of a sudden that player can then play on, and now the player on the mark is 10 metres back from that line, so it opens up a whole new area for the fullback or whoever their prime kicker is to run out and kick the ball as far up the ground as they can. The 50-metre rule, after a number of practice matches, and I apologise to the Doveton Football Club paying I think 18 50-metre penalties and X amount of 100-metre penalties, and from feedback from a lot of other teams that have done it, we won't be implementing particular parts of that 50-metre rule. What we will be looking at is we do want the player, if they've got an opportunity to run on, we want to get that working, but we don't want to be paying double hundreds because a player with a mark's decided to try and force another 50-metre by running past and doing that. Ruckman now can now take the ball out of the ruck, and from that they're given an opportunity to get rid of the ball. Another positive thing that we will do is from the SNFL is our boundary umpires will come in 5 metres from the line because we want to get them to throw the ball further into the corridor.
I know a few coaches that'll be happy about that one.
And the other one that we're really focusing on this year is paying holding the ball decisions. We won't actually want to pay free kicks, and when I mean pay them, we want to pay those obvious free kicks that probably in the past we've probably been inclined to pay a ball up for, and we feel that if a player picks the ball up, they get tackled, but and they don't make a genuine attempt to get rid of the ball. We want to pay a holding the ball and therefore get the game moving as quickly as possible.
Yeah, very exciting, and I suppose the message for all clubs that sort of want to familiarise themselves with all these new rules and interpretations, come down to umpire training on a Wednesday here at Morley Reserve, and you can accost Jono and pick his brain about a couple of things, and you're open to that, aren't you, Jono?
Absolutely, and I think what we want to do is build those relationships with clubs, and we can do that by having those opportunities for clubs to come down and have those nights where those things are achievable for them.
Fantastic, and thanks for joining me, Jono. It'll be a very exciting season 2019 Southern Footy League, that's for sure. Looking forward to seeing you around the traps, and can't wait for round one, mate.
Get your game face on.